What's going on, peeps? Allow me to take a break from covering mostly obscure acts to discuss one of the most fascinatingly popular pop stars in the last few months that appears to be taking the world by storm, your favorite artist's favorite artist. This is Missouri singer-songwriter Chappell Roan, currently climbing the charts with the smash hit Good Luck Babe. A truly magical new wave piece that immediately caught my attention thanks to her incredible vocal range, especially during the final hook. She went off. The groove is punchy, fun, and almost nostalgic. Written in 3 minutes was this anthemic track about wishing the best to someone who is rejecting destiny. My favorite moment is the smooth tempo changes towards the end, fading out with lush strings. It'll go down as one of the most acclaimed singles of the entire year, deserving every accolade. Now, her sudden success has been questioned, with many speculating she could be an industry plant. An allegation that I don't think is true in the slightest, honestly. If you look into her history, she has been making music since 2014 with a career that has been certainly a bumpy road. So how did she go from a trailer park to opening for Olivia Rodrigo? This is my series Unmasking, where we go into detail about an artist's come up to determine how they truly got this far. Let's get started. Kayleigh Rose Amstutz started playing the piano at around 10 years old, growing up in a trailer park within the small town of Willard, Missouri. By the age of 12, she was taking singing lessons. She sang in front of a live audience for the first time at 13 in December 2021, singing the Christmas song at her school's talent show that she obviously won. This was after leaving all the judges' jaws on the floor during the auditions, with her middle school choir director Emily Witt encouraging her to take the stage. She was extremely nervous, but ultimately had the drive to finish the job. She didn't even know she was that good. She tried to join her school's choir, but her voice stood out too much from the rest. That's insane brag, leading to her trying out for America's Got Talent, yet she did not succeed as she didn't know what she was doing apparently. Around the age of 15, she started posting cover songs on YouTube, catching the interest of several record labels. Her family wasn't musical in the slightest, these abilities just came to her naturally. This spark came from acts like Pink, Katy Perry, and Rihanna, with the latter's song Stay inspiring her to write songs of her own in her teenage years. But her dedication to making this music career a thing came with a cost, including missing prom and her high school graduation. It was a messy start, but it was all going to be worth it. She appeared on the late-night talk show The Mystery Hour to perform on television for the first time. During the summer, she wrote the song Die Young at the Summer Camp Interlochen Center for the Arts in Michigan, an experience that changed her life's trajectory forever, allowing her to connect with creative, aspiring songwriters like her. Later in August, she was among 30 high school students nationwide chosen to attend Grammy Camp in New York, funding the trip through a benefit concert in Springfield. From there, she learned how to write from Grammy Award-winning artists and learned more about the music industry in general. Her family was incredibly supportive of her career. On October 6, 2014, under the name Kayleigh Rose, she released her first original song, Die Young, to YouTube. It has this pop soul feel about Roan not understanding how to deal with depression and thinking no one else understands, but in actuality, there were so many people there for her and were willing to help. She had everything she ever wanted, yet she still felt sad. It was clear she was going through a lot during this period, feeling like she was gonna die in her sleep. These feelings upset her mother, leading to Roan pushing her away despite her intentions to help. Meanwhile, all of her friends were doing things she didn't normally do, putting her in a weird situation. She felt completely lost, leading to her praying to find herself. Thankfully, she realized that after all the troubles and turmoil, she is loved and life is worth living. Around this time, her self-titled EP with 4 piano pop-styled songs, with the assistance of Bailey Cremens, including Die Young, was put out locally. She'd promote herself through local concerts and her official Facebook account, Fans of Kayleigh Rose. However, the biggest promotion she got at the start was from none other than Troye Sivan on November 4th, when he shared her song through his Twitter account. This propelled her song to 15,000 views. In 2015, the singer went to New York City for a series of showcases pitching for record executives, and ultimately signed a contract with Atlantic Records on May 8th. This decision would come with a few changes, including a new stage name. She wasn't a fan of her real name and instead came up with the name Chappell Roan. This was in honor of her grandfather Dennis Chappell, who passed away from brain cancer, with his favorite song being The Strawberry Roan. It's pretty much her drag persona that allows her to be more confident, similar to how Hannah Montana was Miley's more confident superstar persona. Now under a major label, she began developing and workshopping her sound to impress the nation. Her earliest material dabbles in the dark, booming electro-pop sound most pop acts were doing in 2017. Soft drum samples and warm keys. An obvious difference is her voice, putting on this smoky, cursive singing accent similar to Lana Del Rey and Sia. Roan released Good Hurt on August 3rd, 2017 as the lead single for her upcoming debut extended play, followed up with a music video. Surrounded in bass with a brief electronic breakdown is once again a sad way Roan looked at her relationships at the time, where her last love was extremely toxic in comparison to this new one that she thought was boring. She wanted that painful good hurt from her last relationship as that's what she thought love was. It's an objectively wrong assumption, but that's just what she was feeling. Admitting the problem put her in the right direction. It was praised for its maturity and deep vocals, including another shout out from Troye Sivan. The track was placed on Spotify's weekly Buzz playlist, garnering the singer 100,000 monthly listeners. On September 22nd, 2017, she put out her debut EP, School Nights, with Atlantic Records. Meantime leans more on spare piano chords before advancing into a familiar dark alt-pop sound, seeing Roan trying to make this balance between her identity struggles and relationship. She was clearly going through it mentally, but she still wanted to keep this partner by her side. Her hope is that she can still love this person in the meantime while she figures herself out. Meanwhile, Sugar High has this sensual R&B groove about the rush of being in love for the first time with clever sugar metaphors. The last track, Bad For You, is strange because while it could be a simple love song about a sexual relationship, Roan appears to admit she is bad for her partner. Displaying some showing of regret for these practices, she loves this flirty part of herself, yet there's still a lingering part of herself that's unsure if this is the right thing to be doing, possibly stemming from her religious background with those hallelujahs on the hook. A bit of a guilty pleasure, if you will. It's a solid introduction, but it isn't too distinctive from acts like Zara Larsson and Halsey during this time. She later admitted that her old work didn't relate to her anymore. Through her label connections, she was directed towards Riptide singer Vance Joy as an opener for his 2017 tour starting on September 28th. To further her singing dreams, she had to move to a place to make them happen, Los Angeles, California. At the time, she was still living with her parents. The girl needed wide open spaces, if you will, so she moved to LA in 2018. As a queer girl, this new landscape gave her the opportunity to show the real her musically. She toured the United States with Declan McKenna, granting her more exposure. During this time, she also released 2 singles. Acoustic-driven Bitter is similar to Good Hurt, where Roan experienced toxic effects from a previous relationship, leading to her feeling that being bitter is better than getting better. Writing the track taught her a lesson that holding on to bitterness is like setting yourself on fire and hoping someone else gets burned. Some good vocal runs on this one. School Nights was not included on the EP for some reason, an atmospheric chamber pop track inspired by summer camp. She felt strange about herself, wanting to stay young while growing older. She longed for someone who made her feel like an innocent kid and wanted to capture the rebellious excitement of a school night crush. Chappell is happy she did, as now out of school she feels a different kind of rush. I personally think this is the best early Chappell track. It has some sort of connection with a later synth-pop track in 2020, Love Me Anyway, about someone she met at summer camp that Roan herself rejected several times until realizing this person was right about them being a great match for each other. Despite how many times Roan rejected this person, they still loved Roan anyway. The repetitive phrase displays that affection. Ultimately, the dedication to win her heart was worth the wait. Now, 2019 wasn't eventful for Roan's career, abandoning social media for an entire year it seems like. She later revealed towards the end of the year she needed to gather herself mentally to focus on making music she loved. It turns out that she had anxiety posting on social media and was grateful for whoever was still with her. She promised this next year would be a complete left turn. In early 2020, she worked with a producer, Dan Nigro, as well as putting out a few covers. She began the rollout for her comeback single Pink Pony Club with a website, phone number, music video, and everything. It was supposed to be the lead single for her debut album. It was released on April 3rd, 2020, being shipped to major streaming playlists. Her vocal style is now a lot more playful, adapting to more synth-pop, new rave elements. The song tells the story of a girl from Tennessee hoping to escape the clutches of her strict mother to become a drag club dancer at the Pink Pony Club in Santa Monica. She's aware her mother won't be happy about this decision, but she doesn't care. She still loves her mother deep down, even if she doesn't respect her treatment. Love the guitar incorporation towards the end. The track was inspired by the gay bar The Abbey. She wanted to become a dancer in LA, but wasn't confident enough, leading her to write this song. I do find it funny that this was released during the start of the pandemic, literally when the club culture died for an entire year. A horrific situation that certainly slowed the track's momentum. It could have been the song of the summer for all we know. Either way, she continued to drop new singles, Love Me Anyway in California, that illustrates her loneliness and disappointment of moving to California to further advance her career, just to be halted by the pandemic. Reminds me of her earlier dark pop sound with a lot more polish. Entering us into a rough patch in Roan's career, where she was dropped by Atlantic Records in August 2020 due to her latest singles not being profitable enough. The same week, her boyfriend of 4 years broke up with her. She spent the next 2 years supporting herself by working as a production assistant, barista, and nanny. In early 2021, the success of Olivia Rodrigo's driver's license diverted Nigro's attention from Roan as he focused on working with Rodrigo. Roan struggled to find a collaborator she liked as much and temporarily moved back to Missouri to work on her music independently while working at a drive-thru. Despite this setback, Pink Pony Club was finding its way onto several Pride-related playlists, boosting its streams into the millions. In 2022, Roan returned to Los Angeles to continue her independent music career while being a production assistant and working in a donut shop. She secured a publishing deal with Sony, and by March 2022, she was able to collaborate with Dan Nigro again to release Naked in Manhattan. It was her first release in 2 years, attracting the attention of Olivia Rodrigo, even before its release. As discussed before, Nigro has been working with Chappell and Olivia. One day, Nigro shared Roan's unreleased material to Olivia that impressed the famous pop singer. So much that Olivia wanted Roan to open for one of her shows. She also recorded background vocals for Lacey. On May 27, 2022, Roan opened for Olivia's Sour Tour, impressing thousands of unfamiliar fans. For the past 2 years, she had been working her ass off to rebuild what was destroyed by the pandemic. She was now back to where she wanted to be. But this is definitely not the end of her story. There were 2 more singles put out this year that generated even more buzz, becoming an LGBT icon, if you will. Feminem Amanon is a silly one where Chappell Roan has become so influential, she's inventing new words. It starts off as a ballad that Olivia Rodrigo would perform before abruptly switching into a dance pop banger. Due to no men being able to satisfy her, Roan and her co-writer made up the word Feminem Amanon, based on a phenomenon that sleeping with a man would be better than sleeping with a girl. This song flips the assumption on its face in the eyes of Roan. I can already tell this one goes off live. Seriously, play the fucking beat. If you ever wanted to know Roan's kink, it's apparently karma. I wonder if this song is about Jojo Siwa. Delivering justice to those who commit wrongdoings, it feels good when reality catches up to them. Karma influences her actions and decisions in life, especially concerning her exes. She loves that they are suffering, crashing out and drinking downtown. Lastly, soft rock inspired, incredibly emotional Casual explores the frustrations of situationships, especially in the case where her ex thought the relationship was just casual, but to Roan, it felt like it was more than that. She goes to describe how casual the relationship was like. Trust me, it was quite explicit. In the restaurant's bathroom with his parents at the table, she felt betrayed by his words. She thought it was true love. Ending off the year with the announcement of her first headlining tour, Naked in North America. 2023 saw Chappell applying the finishing touches of her long-awaited debut album with 3 more singles. Not the most singles in history. Take a look at Come On Over by Shania Twain. She released Kaleidoscope after signing with Amusement Records, which is Nigro's imprint of Island Records. This is her personal favorite song, a piano and string ballad that explores the complexities of her queer love, likening it to the changing patterns in a kaleidoscope, where love transitions from friendship to romance and beyond. It's ever-changing and distressingly unpredictable. On May 17th, we got Red Wine Supernova, a ridiculously horny pop rock track about her having fun with another woman using references to a 1996 Oasis track. I don't care that you're a stoner, Red Wine Supernova, fall right into me. Put her canine teeth in the side of my neck. I heard you like magic, I've got a wand and a rabbit. I can see why she opened for Olivia Rodrigo now, as they have a similar delivery now that I've heard these singles. Especially those talk singing bits that are full of so much personality and bliss. Taking us to Hot to Go. If this doesn't become absolutely massive after Good Luck Babe runs its course, we failed as a society. At first, the retro synths didn't click with me, but it grew on me as the track continued into this anthemic dance pop banger based on food references. Normally, I'm not a fan of these types of tracks. There's nothing sexy about being a carryout, sorry. The difference here is that Hot to Go makes sense. Don't let your lady get cold, everyone. Reminds me of Lil Caesar's Hot and Ready catchphrase. Roan's incredible vocal performance and absolutely massive hook helped seal the deal for me. It's got this cheerleader chant feel to it with a mix of YMCA. With millions of monthly listeners, Chappell finally released her debut album on September 22nd, 2023, The Rise and Fall of a Midwest Princess. Alongside the Midwest Princess tour, let's explore the 5 deep cuts. Usually nothing good happens after midnight, only proven on the funky After Midnight, where Roan wants to kiss your girlfriend or boyfriend, start a bar fight, and dance. It just captures the fun nature that can go down at a club during the late hours. She's not a good girl anymore. The explosive, super graphic, ultra modern girl takes on a similar subject matter to Red Wine Supernova, where she wishes for a girl that can match her freak. By that I mean have fun and dance. She's come far since the blissful Naked in Manhattan, where she hadn't even kissed a girl yet. She was with a man at the time, so this one was Roan trying to come to a realization with these feelings. We slow it down on the piano-focused ballad Coffee, describing the difficulty of trying to meet up with an ex while attempting to move on. It starts with a simple coffee chat because wine gets him in his feels. Once they have a drink, the ex starts expressing interest in getting back together, but she knows her worth and doesn't want to deal with any more drama. Towards the end, she basically rejects further advances, not even a coffee chat. It's best to leave their thing in the past. Remember how casual was almost how she pictures their relationship in a different way than her ex did? I see the gentler picture you as asking for that confirmation later. Ending off with the upbeat, catchy synth pop of Guilty Pleasure about a passionate yet morally questionable relationship that is certainly perverted, likened to an addictive guilty pleasure. Reminds me of Bad For You. It may have sold 3,000 units in its first week, but it was absolutely eaten up by music critics during list season, being positively reviewed as one of the best albums of the year. Chappell wouldn't be just another music nerd act for long though. She would once again open for Olivia Rodrigo's Guts World Tour in the United States from February to April 2024. In the first week of the tour, her streams increased by 32%. Roan also appeared as a musical guest on The Late Show with Stephen Colbert. Then in March, NPR Music released her Tiny Desk concert performance. All of these were viral moments, with the music world finally realizing her talent. On April 3rd, the Midwest Princess debuted on the Billboard 200 6 months after its release at number 127, selling 10,000 copies. After teasing it through an email listing and TikTok, Roan announced her new single, Good Luck Babe, would be released on April 5th. The perfectly timed single resulted in 7 million streams in its first week, a Spotify top 10 placement, and a debut at number 77 on the Billboard Hot 100. It's looking to hit the top 10 in the coming weeks, y'all. Her career was officially kicking into overdrive. All those tears and hard work was paying off. Roan took the stage at Coachella and helped her music gain significant traction on Spotify, with her monthly listeners surging by over 500% from February to April. In June, her album reached the top 10 for the first time, with over 40,000 album units sold, marking her best sales week yet. It's looking to go even higher. I heard someone call her this generation's Cyndi Lauper, and I totally see it. The way she's able to use her voice to mimic all these personalities, her way of commanding an audience, she's an absolute star. I'm so glad she's killing it. Roan has so much motion that she turned down an invitation to perform at the White House. However, she may have all this talent and a dedicated queer fan base that will ride or die for her at the end. Roan is still human. She's starting to get overwhelmed by her success. I think my career is just kind of going really fast and it's really hard to keep up. I'm just being honest, I'm having a hard time today. This is all I've ever wanted. It's just heavy sometimes. I hope she takes her time. I'm sure it's a lot of stress to be in the public eye like this where you have to have so much high expectations placed on you now. I hope she's able to find that time to slow down and take a breather. Chappell Roan is not an industry plant. She got here based on a decade of hard work with several ups and downs that led to the perfect breakthrough. I can see Roan becoming a defining hitmaker in this decade if all goes well. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to like and subscribe for more base content. What other acts should I cover? Let me know down below. I'll see you all in the next one. Make sure to love all and peace.
Love me.